God, I can't believe this.
What's wrong, Isla? Is everything okay?
My brother just texted me and said he isn't going to be able to make it to the wedding. Is he being serious?
Oh, is that the brother that works for the really big company? He must earn a really good salary being in such a successful business.
Yes, he's done very well for himself.
What happened? Has something gone wrong at work? That seems strange that he would be called in so suddenly.
He told me something about a huge work trip that was happening a month or so before the wedding. Apparently, they sent over 100 employees abroad to some conference or meeting or whatever.
Wow! 100 employees? That must have been a big deal to organize everything.
Oh, absolutely. Problem is, the group got separated and he couldn't contact anyone. But then he got sick and passed out. He woke up lying on the floor with no way of calling anyone. He's in the hospital now, so I'm not too worried, to be honest.
Don't you need to go visit him then? Surely you want to go and check on him. It sounds like he can't be very well if he just passed out in the street.
Oh, I can't possibly go and see him. I've got to come to your wedding for a start, and I get really bad motion sickness.
Oh, really? I've never noticed you feeling sick when we're driving in the car.
It used to be much worse, but even now I get car sick if I'm riding for an hour or more.
Oh, is that so? I thought you went on that group road trip to the mountains a few weeks ago. Didn't you take a coach with all the other people that were going?
That was just because my friends were going, and they really wanted to take the bus so they could see the scenery and views. I didn't make it the whole way in the end because I felt so sick. I had to make them stop the bus so I could get off halfway.
Oh, I must have been confused. I thought you said you had gone with your friends and had a great time. Didn't you send me a picture of the view from the top of the mountains? I'm sure I saw a photo of your trip.
Yes, well, that wasn't my photo. I didn't take it.
Oh? But I think I remember you saying that you took it when you sent it to me.
Oh, just leave it. It's a long story, so there's no point trying to explain everything to you now. The main thing is that David won't be able to come to the wedding today, since he's in hospital. He told one of my nephews to bring some money for you as a wedding gift, so there should be an envelope somewhere on the gifts table, I think.
Really? That's so sweet of them. I've heard so much about your family. It will be great to meet them in person. I'm looking forward to getting to know them.
Oh no. David just texted me with some bad news about his son that was supposed to bring the money.
What about him? Is everything okay?
It's just that apparently he took the money and ran off.
Are you kidding? How much money was in the envelope? He just took it and disappeared?
According to my brother, he had sent about $10,000 in cash.
What the hell? $10,000? Are you seriously telling me that your brother gave his son an envelope of money to bring to a relative's wedding, and he just ran away with all that cash? It's like the plot of a movie.
Well, like I was saying, he's very high up at a big company. I guess he just wanted to do something nice for you. It sounds like he's very concerned about the whole situation, but there's not much he can do from a hospital bed. I'm just worried it's going to make him more sick to be stressing about everything.
Who else is coming from your side of the family? Was it just going to be your brother and his son?
There were a few others, but they've all said they can't make it because of David being taken into hospital. He told me not to bother visiting, though, since it's such a long way to go.
Well then, how about after the wedding ceremony we go and visit your family together? That way you won't miss the ceremony and you'll get to see everyone. You said you don't get motion sickness in your son's car, so you should be okay, right?
There's no need for you to be worrying about all of this. Just focus on the wedding. You want everything to go perfectly on your big day.
Oh, okay. If you're sure. Man, I am so exhausted. If you asked me to marry you again tomorrow, I think I would say no and just pass out. I could never do this twice. It's so much work.
Surely marriage is a one and done kind of thing. I hope you're not getting cold feet already.
No, of course not. Honestly, the stress was worth it for such an amazing honeymoon afterwards. Look at this place!
Oh, I know. The wine here is so amazing. I've never tasted anything like it. Still, I'm so tired I feel like I can't enjoy it properly. I've only had one glass and I feel like I'm about to fall asleep.
Me too. There was one thing I meant to ask you, actually. Did you speak to your mom about David? Apparently he couldn't come to the wedding because he was on a work trip, but then he ended up getting hospitalized. She said that he gave his son an envelope full of money to bring to the wedding as a gift for us, but he took the money and just ran off with it.
I heard, yeah. I bet my mom is really disappointed and stressed at the moment. I wish my uncle knew that all we want is for him to be healthy. Obviously, the only thing we wanted people to bring to the wedding was good vibes. We don't need gifts. I can't believe his own son would steal all that money, though. It's almost unbelievable.
Do you believe everything your mom was saying about her family? It seems too crazy to be true.
Of course I believe her. What do you mean?
Nothing. It's just that sometimes it feels like she twists the truth a bit, don't you think? You know, she tells little lies pretty often about the smallest things. It's just making me wonder, that's all.
Oh, come on. How can you think she would lie about this?
Well, I thought I would go online and find out the name of the company that your uncle runs, since he's so successful. I realized I don't know much about what he did. It was the weirdest thing. From the homepage, I was able to see a list of all the employees and their contact information. Is that normal, or did they get hacked or something? It wasn't even like a legitimately made page. It was literally just a list of names on a white screen. Surely it would have been a huge deal if 100 employees at a big company suddenly had their information leaked like that. You would expect to hear about a story like that in the newspaper, right?
Hang on a second. I haven't looked up anything about this, so I don't really know.
Here's the weirdest part, though. Out of all those names, his wasn't on there.
Yeah, I can't see anything about him on the internet at all. That's weird.
See? I told you so!
Maybe they're just rebuilding the site or something, and you found it at a weird time in the development. I wonder how my uncle is doing. I hope he's okay. He must have hit the ground pretty hard when he collapsed.
Is that really what you're thinking about right now? After what I just pointed out?
Aren't you worried about him? He's your family too now, and he's in hospital.
I'm not worried about him right now. I'm worried about my future. Have you ever really seen your family on your mom's side? Have you ever had a family reunion with everyone in one place?
I mean, no, not really.
Not even when you were young? You never went to visit any aunts or uncles as a kid?
Sure, I don't remember any family events when I was younger. I don't really remember seeing any of them, honestly.
So you're going to believe this crazy story your mom is telling, when you've never even met any of the relatives she's talking about?
I just don't understand why you're even bringing this up. There's no reason to be worrying about some big conspiracy. What reason could my mom possibly have for lying to her own son? It would be totally unnecessary.
You know, your mom was telling me earlier about how she had separated from your dad.
Sure. Why do you mention it?
She was telling me about when she was pregnant with you, and your dad was cheating on her for about 8 months, going off with other women while she was stuck at home. They had a pretty difficult divorce, right? She said it took a long time and was really tough on them both.
Oh, well, not really.
How did it go then?
Actually, after my mom gave birth to me and my brother, my dad ended up taking us kids with him and moving out. It was my dad that raised us when we were little.
Oh, is that true?
My mom ended up moving away when I started in elementary school. When I was about 20 years old, my dad got remarried to another woman. After that, me and my mom moved back in together.
Why did you never tell me your dad had had an affair, though? I had no idea about any of this up until your mom brought it up.
I mean, I didn't really want to bring up a history of infidelity in my family to the woman I was about to marry. Besides, I thought that was the sort of thing she would want to tell her future daughter-in-law herself.
I just feel like I don't know what to believe when your mom tells me something. I can never figure out where the lies begin and end, you know? If your dad was still alive, I guess I could just ask him to get a second opinion and figure out what really happened.
Yeah, I heard he was struggling and fighting it for a few years, but eventually it beat him.
Who did you hear that from? It can't have been your mom, I guess.
No, I was talking to his new wife about it.
Oh, really? Did she mention anything else?
She said he seemed determined to beat it while they were living together. In the end, she started suggesting to my dad that he should see my mom one last time and talk to her about everything that happened between them. He said he didn't want to, though, and that he had no interest in talking to a woman that abandoned her children. He ended up passing away before he ever saw her again.
It sounds like your dad held a lot of resentment for your mom. He must have really blamed her for how things turned out.
Well, my mom had a pretty hard time living with my dad, too. Especially after he cheated. She was really struggling. I think we can't really judge either of them too harshly for what they did. It was just a bad situation.
Don't you think you're being too forgiving?
You've always had something against my mom. You never want to give her a break after what she's been through. Besides, people start to lose their memories and forget things over time as they get older. She's not lying. She's probably just gotten mixed up about what exactly happened.
I know that. I just don't think that's what's going on here. She says things that are really obviously not true. It's not like she's just confused. Besides, she does it so often that I can never figure out where each story begins and ends because they change each time she tells it. It just gets so twisted.
Oh, come on now. Sometimes I think you just want to make things difficult, you know. Can't you just leave it and move on? There are bigger things to think about.
Hey, Isla. How's it going? I was curious to see if your brother is feeling any better.
From what I've heard, the situation hasn't gotten better, but it also hasn't gotten worse, which I suppose could be a good thing.
I can only imagine how stressful it is for everyone, including all of the people working under him. By the way, you mentioned they went on a work trip. Where did they go?
You know what? I don't quite remember. I find I keep forgetting things as I get older, even if someone reminds me several times. You'll have to ask me again later, and I'll see if I can find out and let you know.
Oh, okay. No worries.
How was your honeymoon, though? Did you have an incredible time?
We really did. The hotel was so beautiful, and it was great to have a few days to just rest and eat. I feel so refreshed. I still have some time off left before I have to go back to the office, too, so that's great. Actually, I have been thinking of visiting your brother and seeing if I can help him with anything while he's getting better. What do you think?
What? Why would you do that?
Goodness, I didn't think you would be so surprised. He was so thoughtful to try to send a wedding gift even though he couldn't come to the ceremony. I would love to thank him for being so sweet.
Oh, there's no need for you to do all that, though. I'll tell him you were grateful. His doctor says he just needs to rest up properly to get better.
He tried to send us a big chunk of money to congratulate us on the wedding, though. Even if we didn't end up receiving it, I still want to thank him for being so generous. Besides, I know it's been a really long time since you were able to visit your family. I'm sure you miss them all.
Just forget about it. He's going to be in hospital for a bit longer. I don't think he'll be discharged for at least another week. I'm sure you're busy getting ready to go back to work, too.
Surely he'll have time to say hi, even just for a moment?
The truth is, Evie, he passed away.
What? He passed away? You just said that his situation was stable.
He passed away at the hospital while you and Liam were on your honeymoon. I didn't want to ruin your trip.
But until just now, you said things were going well with his company and that he would be discharged from the hospital before too long. Why would you say that if he was actually dead?
I thought the bad news might be a bit gloomy, especially while you're enjoying being newlyweds. But I guess I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I was planning on telling you about it later when you were a bit more settled.
If he really has passed away, then surely there will be a funeral or memorial service soon. We have to go.
You missed it. The funeral already happened.
What? We missed the funeral? When on earth did he pass away?
It was on the day of your wedding. I got a phone call saying he had died.
What are you talking about? Isla, do you even have a brother? Your story doesn't match up, and you keep changing the details.
Not anymore. I told you, he passed away. I used to have a brother, though.
I guess you managed to go to his funeral then? At least you must have been able to see your family.
Actually, I was so upset when I heard the news. I just stayed in bed for a while, crying. It really knocked me to hear my brother had passed, and I ended up missing the funeral and really having a hard time.
I'm sorry? You mean you had some kind of breakdown? When we were on our honeymoon, you were calling me every hour to ask how we were doing and what we had been up to. You couldn't have been doing that if you were really crying all day in bed.
Did I really? I certainly don't remember that.
Yes, you definitely did.
Goodness me! I spent several days just lying down and processing my brother's death. I guess my memories have gotten a bit confused.
Oh, sure. That must be it.
Hi there, Evie!
Hi, Isla. How are you?
Oh, I just want to cry, to be honest. I don't understand why this bad luck just seems to follow me. Do you think I have back karma or something?
Oh my god, what's happened? Is everything okay?
If I tell you, you can't tell anyone else. Do you understand? I don't want people to find out about this.
Of course, I won't tell anyone. Go ahead. What's up?
Well, I just went to the hospital earlier for something.
Oh, right, okay. Are you ill? I hope you're not in pain, right?
Man, I can't even say it. This is so bad. If you have some kind of heart medication, you should probably take it right now. I'm about to tell you something really shocking, and I don't want you to have a heart attack or something.
I don't have a heart condition, Isla. I'm sure I'll be fine. Please just go ahead and tell me. Have you been diagnosed with something?
The doctor told me I should start getting my affairs in order.
Are you serious? What on earth has happened?
They said I have stomach cancer, and it's progressed pretty far. I don't have very long left. Oh, what do I do?
What?
I didn't have any symptoms, so I never came to be tested. But now they've said it's too late to operate and try to remove it. Apparently, I've got about 6 months left to live. I had no idea. This whole time I had cancer.
Are you being serious?
Of course. Why would I lie about this? Do you really think I would lie about having 6 months to live?
Well, what are you going to do? Do you have any treatment options?
Well, obviously I don't have any options, or I would be doing them. I'm just going to accept my fate and wait to see how much longer I get.
Oh, you poor thing. I'm so sorry. This is such terrible news.
I'm glad you realize how difficult this is for me. I hope you'll be good to me for the next 6 months and try to help me through this.
Of course I will. I can help with anything you need.
Oh, one other thing. I know I already mentioned it, but I need you to keep this strictly between us. This is top secret. Do you understand? I especially do not want Liam to find out. He'll be so devastated. Not a word, okay?
What do you mean? Surely he would be more upset if he only found out later that you had hidden this from him. This is a really big deal, Isla.
He already lost his father to cancer. I don't want him worrying about me and counting down the days I have left. Just keep it to yourself.
If that's really how you feel and what you want, then of course I won't tell him. Don't worry, he won't hear it from me.
I'm trusting you with this, Evie. Don't let me down. You know, I was thinking maybe I should move house at some point before the end of my days.
Oh, really? Where do you want to move to? You know, you could always move into the lake house full-time.
You know what? That's a great idea. I will do that. I don't want to die in a city. It's so smoky and dark. I just want some fresh air further out of the center to live out my last months.
Oh, I see.
I remember when my husband bought us a little house out in the suburbs, and I was so mad. I yelled at him for hours about doing it without asking me. Now I see he was smart to avoid the noise and pollution of the city.
I guess so. We certainly like living a bit further out.
I guess it's my turn to make the move out of the suburbs then. Wow, I never thought this day would come. If I die, will you promise to bury me next to my old man? In my hometown.
Isla, you don't need to worry about things like that just yet. You never know. Maybe there will be some kind of miracle.
A miracle? Don't make me laugh. How could that happen? Do you mean I should start going to church? I've never been very religious, but if you think there's a chance, then maybe God will look kindly on me.
Don't worry about it, 𝘁. I'll pray for you and see if God will smile on us. I feel confident that you will make it through this in one piece.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Anyway, I have something else I need you to help me with.
Of course. What is it?
Well, my body doesn't feel very strong. I guess because of the cancer. So I'm going to need your help moving some things. I want to live in the lake house. You can ask Liam to bring his car to help with everything.
But don't you think it would be easier to call a moving company? They'll have professionals who could help you out.
Why would I need to call a moving company? I've only got a few bags. It's not a big job. Do you not want to help me?
No, it's nothing like that.
Oh, and you need to help me with the cleaning, too. I can't get around like I used to.
Could you call a cleaner to come over every so often? You can schedule someone to visit once a week to do it all at once.
No, I don't want a stranger in my house going through all of my things.
I mean, the house is pretty big. I think it would be difficult for one person to do all the housework on their own if they weren't professionals.
Fine, I'll just do it on my own then. You'll feel bad when this kills me straight away. I know my body just isn't up to doing that.
𝘁, please listen to me. I'm not saying this because I think you should be doing everything on your own, of course. You know what? You're right. I'll come round and help you, and do the cleaning.
Good, that's what I hoped you would say. The lake house has been empty for a while, so I'm sure there's lots of dust. Make sure you clear out all the closets and get rid of all the cobwebs.
Sure, 𝘁. I'll make sure it's sparkling when you move in.
When you're done, just let me know and we can move all my bags and stuff over. Maybe I'll even get takeout that we can have together to celebrate the move.
You want to get takeout? Surely a home-cooked meal would be better for you.
I'm sure it would, but no one wants to cook after you've been carrying boxes all day. It's basically traditional to have takeout on the first night in a new place.
But if you're struggling with late-stage stomach cancer, surely takeout would be too hard on your stomach. I would think you needed a stew or something a bit easier to digest and with fewer chemicals.
I never get takeout. I just want to try it. I don't have long left. I should live to the fullest.
Okay, if you're sure.
Anyway, let's get a move on and get me all moved into the lake house.
Sounds good.
Hey, babe. Did you eat lunch yet?
No, I haven't. Why do you ask?
Come and meet me in front of your office building. I have an idea. I thought it could be fun to get lunch together. There's a new cafe around the corner that's just opened. It's meant to be really good.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just going to eat in the cafeteria downstairs.
I already looked. They don't have anything good out today. Come on, let's go out somewhere.
Just go and eat with your colleagues then. I'm staying here.
Babe, what's going on? Why don't you want to try somewhere new?
I'm not even in the office right now. You're wasting your time.
Are you trying to play hard to get? You realize we're married, right?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just making a joke. You've been so busy lately, though. What's going on? Are you okay? You're making me worry that you're having an affair or something. Borrowing my car every day. Where are you driving off to?
No, of course not.
Why did you hesitate? What's going on?
I just have a lot on my mind, and I've been trying to decide if I should tell you or not. I've been wrestling with it lately.
Babe, just tell me.
Okay, well, actually, I've been going to visit your mom for the last few days. That's why I needed the car.
What? Why are you doing that?
If I tell you, I need you to stay calm and not freak out, okay? Do you promise?
Sure, I promise. Just tell me.
Your mom told me recently that she's been diagnosed with stomach cancer, and it's terminal.
Oh my god! What the hell? Why are you only telling me this now?
Babe, calm down. I told you not to freak out. There's no reason to panic, trust me.
How do you expect me not to be upset when you tell me that my mom is dying of stomach cancer? I can't believe she didn't tell me.
I think she didn't tell you because it's not true. We have no proof of anything.
Why are you bringing this up again? She would never lie about something like this.
I'm telling you, she is lying. Trust me.
Seriously, I can't believe you would accuse her of something like that.
Okay, well then answer me this. A person with late-stage stomach cancer would have restrictions on what they can eat, right? Do you think they would be able to eat a big portion of salty, greasy takeout?
Well, I've never had stomach cancer, so I couldn't really say. I suppose it would be pretty difficult. I don't really see how this is relevant, though.
Your mom told me she wanted to move out to the lake house, so I borrowed your car to help her move all her things. I had cleaned the whole house too, top to bottom, since it had been empty for so long. After we finished getting all her things over there, she ordered a huge portion of spicy chicken wings.
Oh, really?
You already know that I can't really eat spicy food, so I barely had any. I just made a snack when I got home later that day. After I had about 3 bites, I said I was all done and she ate the rest of it completely on her own. I was so surprised. It was honestly such a massive portion of food.
Huh. That does seem a bit weird.
I've been back to visit and check on her a few times since she moved, just to see how she's doing. Every time I go, though, there's not a single letter from the hospital or any kind of medical documents anywhere. It's like there's nothing wrong with her. She never has any painkillers or medications either.
Okay, that is definitely strange. If she really was terminally ill, I imagine it would be hard for her to even stand up without some kind of pain medication.
It's not just that either. There's more. Looking at her, she looks really well. Her skin has good color and it looks healthy, and she seems fine in herself. Sometimes she pretends to be sick, but honestly, she is a pretty bad actor.
Why would she lie, though? What's the point of all this?
Why would I know? Right now, it seems like she's just trying to make me work for her for free. I'm acting like a laborer.
No way. My mom isn't that kind of person. I don't see her doing something like that. Maybe she really is ill, and she just doesn't want to show how bad it is. She could just be trying to hold everything in so we don't worry, especially since she didn't want to tell me about it.
How do you believe her even in this situation? Look at all the signs! Come on, babe, wake up. Your mom has been gaslighting you for so long you don't know what's real and what's not anymore. She's a chronic liar. I feel like I'm never going to convince you to see my side of things.
Do you even have any proof? Surely you wouldn't keep accusing her of lying to me without some kind of evidence, right?
Are you really asking for evidence like some kind of detective? Do you want me to take notes about your mom's situation and report back to you? I imagine she'll call me over a few more times. I don't mind looking for proof. But really, shouldn't there be proof that she does have cancer? Why should I bear the burden of proof showing that she doesn't have it? I suppose eventually she will say that she has been miraculously cured and she's cancer-free. And then she will expect us all to just move on and not ask any questions. Like what normally happens.
Surely not. I just can't believe she would do something like that.
Shall we test it out? Let's just leave her for a while and see what she does. I really hope this is a wake-up call for you, and you realize I've been telling the truth. I hope that if I'm right, you'll cut her off. You need to show her she can't treat you like this. If it turns out your mom was telling the truth and she really does have terminal cancer, you can divorce me. That will teach me to be so suspicious of people.
Why would you force me to choose between 2 extremes? I don't want to do either of those things.
I can't stand her lies. She tells lies more naturally than she breathes. Everything she says is garbage. You need to realize that you can't believe everything anyone says too. What if we had a kid? They would learn from their grandma that they could say whatever they wanted and there would never be any consequences. I want them to grow up like a normal person, trying to be honest and tell people the truth. I can't stand people that lie as often as they eat. It's just not decent or right. I mean, you're not especially great for advocating for her. You know she's bent the truth plenty of times before, but you still stick up for her when I try to call her out.
Why are you being so serious about this? We don't have any kids. This is all hypothetical.
I just want you to make a decision. Pick a side.
Okay, fine. If my mom is lying about having 6 months to live because of terminal stomach cancer, I'm never going to forgive her. That would really be another level of messed up.
Maybe she'll claim there was a mix-up at the hospital and that she was misdiagnosed somehow. Either that or she'll say she made a miraculous recovery. Actually, now I think about it, I reckon she'll go with the misdiagnosis. It's easier to explain and seems more believable.
Fine, I guess we just have to wait and see.
If it turns out that I'm right, there's one thing I want you to do for me.
And what is that?
I'll tell you properly later. I have a plan to get revenge for such a terrible lie.
Evie! You were right! There really has been a miracle! All your prayers came true! I didn't believe it could happen, but I guess you were right!
A miracle? Oh my goodness, are you better? Is the cancer gone?
No, nothing like that.
What is it then? What's happened?
The doctor called and said I had been misdiagnosed. If that isn't a miracle, then I don't know what is. Just yesterday, I thought I only had a few months left to live. I don't know why I lost my appetite, though. That's the only strange thing. Wow, I'm just so relieved.
Oh, Isla, that is such a relief. What great news! I was so worried about you.
It was all I could think about. No need to be worried anymore.
Man, you hear about crazy misdiagnoses on the news sometimes, but I've never experienced it firsthand. I can't believe those kinds of irresponsible hospitals really exist. You should file a complaint. This is really serious. He told you that you had terminal stomach cancer. How could he possibly have gotten that wrong?
File a complaint? I'm sure there's no need for all that.
Are you kidding? Isla, this has been really stressful for you. It caused serious emotional distress. Imagine if you had told your family, too.
Well, I didn't tell them, so no harm, no foul. I don't want to make a big fuss about this. It's too much bother.
No, you really need to report this. This is a really significant problem. You have to tell people when things like this happen. There could be people out there with the same story as you. Anyway, to be honest with you, I did tell Liam about the cancer.
Why, you little brat! I told you not to say anything to him! You promised to keep it secret!
I don't know what you expected. He deserved to know. He's your son. He should know if you have a significant health problem.
God, I should never have trusted you. I should have guessed you would tell him right away.
He's been so upset and worried about you. He's been really anxious ever since he found out. I was worried he would need to see someone about his stress levels. He started taking medication to try to manage his symptoms.
What? Why is he so stressed? Is it because of me?
Of course it is. He had a real shock when he found out that his own mom had terminal cancer. Anyone would be worried. I think it was especially bad since his dad died of cancer. He was reliving everything. This is why we have to report it to the hospital.
No, Evie. Listen to me for a second.
Honestly, he had to stop going to work because he couldn't focus on anything.
What was the name of the hospital?
We have to report them right away. Just tell me. Quickly!
Well, you see, I'd rather not say.
Come on, what was it called? Was it the big one downtown? Or the clinic on the east side of town?
Oh, well...
Isla, you have to tell me. If it wasn't either of them, then where was it? We have to report this.
Well...
Hurry up! This needs to happen as soon as possible.
I didn't have cancer.
What? You never had cancer?
I said it because... Well...
Are you telling me you made it up? None of it was true?
Yes, I made it all up. I'm sorry, Evie. Just please stop asking questions.
I don't understand. Why would you lie about something so serious?
I couldn't be bothered to move all my luggage by myself, and I thought that was an easy way of getting you to help.
Oh my God. I actually can't believe this. Are you serious? Do you have any idea what your son is going through right now? Believing that his mom is dying. He's been so stressed and miserable. This was a completely insane thing for you to do. What were you thinking?
I said I'm sorry, Evie. Just leave it. Son, are you there? It's me, Mom. I'm busy, Mom. Go away. I'm so sorry, sweetie. I should never have told anyone I was dying if it wasn't true. It was wrong of me. Please, can't you forgive me? It will never happen again, I swear. How could you do something like that? It was completely crazy of you to lie about having a terminal illness. Are you even a human? What did you think it would do to me? Stop trying to contact me. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I'll block your number if you keep trying to call me, I swear. I'm sorry, son. I am so sorry. I don't want to hear it, Mom. You've really gone too far. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to forgive you for this. I need some space. I don't want to see you for a while. Just leave me alone to think about this and figure out where my head is at. Well, what on earth do you think you're going to get over it? You can't avoid me forever. I'm your mom. I don't know how long it will take for me to get past what you've done. Maybe it will only be 1 year, or maybe it will take 10 years. What? 10 years? You've lied to me constantly for my whole life. Why are you surprised that it might take me 10 years to forgive you? This has been my life for so long. I know what I did was wrong, but at the end of the day, I am still your mom. You know, when your wife came to see me, I did wonder if she was there to trick me. She seemed very suspicious. I was going to tease her about talking so slowly she sounded like a robot. I didn't mean to do anything to you, I swear. I just needed help moving house, and I thought this was how I could make Evie move the bags. Mom, I have felt sick with anxiety every day. I had to take time off work because I couldn't focus, so now I have no money. It's like my whole life got turned upside down. The neighbors in the apartment downstairs complained about the noise and came up to talk to us about it. You were calling me every day while I was trying to enjoy being newly married with my wife. We live so far away from you, but I would visit every time you asked, even if my wife was feeling stressed or down about something. I let her down to help you. And this is how you repay me? Well, of course your mom should come before your wife. If she was resentful or mad at you for that, then she doesn't deserve you. You are being a good man and a good son. Why don't you just break up with her, and the two of us can move in together again like the old days? It'll be great! Are you crazy? I am never doing that. I've had enough of you bossing me around. I'm not going to be your little puppet anymore. I thought everything you told me was the truth, and now I don't even know who you are. I'm telling you, this was the final straw. For my whole life, I've done as you told me and listened to you. I thought you were trying to do what's best for me, since you're my mom. And then you left us and ran away, just dumping us like trash. I trusted and relied on you because you were my mom. I forgave you for what you did to me, and spent years helping you and doing everything for you. I spent my life catering to what you wanted and trying to become the son you said you deserved. If it wasn't for my wife seeing right through you, I might have spent the rest of my life living with you and doing whatever you told me. Sweetie, I did all of that because I love you more than anything. Are you forgetting that your dad had an affair? He abandoned us and I stepped up. I never let you two kids down, and I raised you with so much love. No, Mom. You were the one who had an affair. You were the one who ran off with someone else and abandoned your own family. Don't try to twist my memories because it won't work anymore. How dare you speak badly about my dad? You should have more respect for the dead. From now on, I won't believe a word you say. God, this is all her fault. That cow. Fine. Go off and live your life with her then. See how happy you are on your own. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be here. I took you two kids in and raised you all those years. I'm the one who got you here today. If you find yourself missing your mom in the future, don't bother calling. I won't answer. Why do you think I would be sad about this? You've dumped your own mother out on her own. There's no use trying to save you now. I spent years taking you here and there, giving you a good life, but now you won't even listen to the woman who cared for you. Hey, you! Tell me why I just called my son and I got a message saying the number didn't exist. Did you do this?
Why are you asking me? It's your family. I don't know about any of this. I know you told my son to cut me off. You've broken our family apart. You're going to pay for this. I swear. This is a problem between you and your son. Don't contact me and blame me for your mistakes. Besides, we're getting a divorce. What? Are you really? Goodness, I'm glad to hear you came to your senses. When will it be finalized? Ha! It was a lie. Why would you do something like that? Do you think this is funny? No, you're right. I'm sorry. This is very serious. Actually, I just got admitted to the hospital, so I don't feel like joking around. Liam was so upset after he got off the phone with you. He got in the car to drive around and cool off. But as soon as he pulled out of the drive... Oh, God. What do you mean? What happened? Which hospital are you at? I'll come and visit you right away. Ha! I was lying again. What? Listen to me. Tell me what's going on. I'm lying to you. None of this is true. God, I can't believe you. You're such a little brat. Man, this is so fun. I wanted to give you a taste of your own medicine so you would know how it feels to never know what's real or not. I wanted to keep going, but I'm really pretty busy right now. Oh, I'm going to make you pay for this. Where's my son? Give him back to me right now, or I swear. If you try to call me again, you're going to get the same message about the number being unavailable. You're going to lose the people you love if you lie to them. I'm sorry, Evie. You're right. I promise it will never happen again. I'll never lie to you or Liam ever again. I can't believe you're so desperate. You really have no morals. God, nothing I do is ever good enough for you, is it? I'm always going to just be a terrible mother. Shall I tell you what I'm thinking about right now? Since you seem so interested in what I think of you. What are you thinking? I'm thinking that rather than trying to make your son do everything for you, you need to prepare yourself for your own old age. You're an old woman now, so you'll find it tough to attract another man to take care of you if you can't do it on your own. It makes you look pathetic to just lie your way through life, even if it is kind of a skill of sorts. As you know, men can be very easily led if you tell them little lies so they do what you want. I was unfortunate enough to cross paths with a total pushover who had been suffering as a result of your inability to tell the truth. That's why you were trying to get in the middle of our marriage. You're so used to having someone you could boss around that you thought a divorce would be better for your son than learning to stand up for himself. But why would I want to get divorced? You don't have any power over me. I was getting so frustrated with my husband, and I felt like it was taking him too long to realize what kind of a person you really are. I was patient, though, and it paid off. You put your own foot in your mouth when you claimed to have terminal cancer. That lie couldn't be easily explained away when you didn't need it anymore. I guess I should be thanking you. You're actually a pretty scary young woman, you know. Do you even have a soul? Me? Scary? Why would you say that? Is it because your tricks didn't work on me? You need to let your son go, too, so he can live his own life. Be honest with yourself. Do you really care about your children's well-being? When you left them all those years ago, you didn't care about the hole that you were leaving in their lives. You sent them off down a bad path before they were even grown. Their lives were filled with lies, not love and affection and support. They didn't know what was real and what you had made up. This mess is all your own fault. I mean, it doesn't seem like a big deal to me. As soon as I started talking about my family, you were so suspicious and distrusting. Oh, that reminds me of something I meant to ask you. Your story about your rich, successful uncle made me curious. I did a bit of thinking. You had already started your affair and divorced your husband when your kids were young. Did your family find out about what you had done and kick you out? That would explain why no one ever meets them. I bet they wouldn't let you come back, would they? Even now your kids are grown up and you still can't leave them. They must be the only family you have left after what you've done. I bet your kids heard every swear word in the book when your husband found out you had cheated on him. Those kinds of things stick around, so I guess lying was your best shot at keeping your kids around. Well, aren't you a little detective?
Are you sure you don't want to retrain as a private investigator?
In the future, leave me and my husband alone. We don't want you to be involved in our lives anymore. Whatever you think, I'm always going to be one step ahead. Don't try to beat me. Let this be a lesson to you to find out everything you can about a person's family before you get married. I should have seen that my husband's strange, toxic relationship with his mom was a sign of something bigger. He couldn't bring himself to let her down even after everything she had done to him. If he had grown up with enough love in his life, he wouldn't have been so desperate that he would look past her behavior. Now that he is free of her, he is independent, strong, and proud. We're ready to start our own family, and our kids will never know the life he did when he was young. Children that grow up with abnormal, cruel parents will struggle to become well-adjusted adults. This is why it's so important to love and support your children, while giving them the space to make their own choices and live their own lives. Since he cut his mother off, my husband has become much better at realizing whether something is fact or fiction. He doesn't take people at their word without considering their intentions or motives. At times, I thought my husband would never realize how his mom's lies had affected him. I thought it might be impossible for him to free himself and move forward. It led to resentment between us, to have me constantly suggesting his mom might not be telling him the truth. He always wanted proof that she was lying, which was difficult to find. Without any evidence, he told me he didn't believe she would do something like that and refused to listen. I thought he would be trapped in her spell for the rest of his life. Honestly, there were times when I thought our marriage would fail and we might have to divorce. But eventually, Isla's lies caught up with her. I was so glad to see him realize that I had been right and cut her off at last. The two of them aren't in contact anymore. What kind of mom would lie to her kids for years with no sense of guilt or remorse? Even if it's painful, having no mom in your life is better than a mom who deceives you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.